Hello, everybody. Welcome to Angel Inspiration Time. I'm so pleased to be here, and I hope that a lot of you have got questions and things that you want to share. Now, tonight, we're supposed to be talking about the Christ light, and strangely enough, I've had very few questions coming in about the Christ light, but dozens and dozens of questions about all sorts of other things. Hello, Freya. And I really ought to say this later when there are more people watching. But I picked a unicorn card, and it bowls me over every time. I got the Christ. Let me see if I can get it straight there. Isn't that amazing? And it says, open the door to the kingdom of heaven. And that's just what we're talking about tonight. Help everybody move into the kingdom of heaven. Isn't that amazing? And then I thought, right, okay, I'll draw a dragon card. I wonder what dragon card we would get for talking about the Christ. I don't know why I should even think about it. Here we go. We had the source dragon for tonight. Isn't that amazing? Attunes you to the infinite. Hello, everybody. Oh, so nice to see you coming in. Yeah, I open the door, says Christina. Right. Yeah, isn't that amazing? The dragons, the angels, the unicorns, they are just so spot on when they come in with exactly the right thing. And I just found it absolutely wonderful. Hello, Stella. Hello, Birgitta. Hello, Lynn. I just think I've just had a question from you coming in. Hello, Mandy. Oh, anyway, while we're waiting for more people to join, I'll just take some of the questions that have been coming in, but not the ones about the Christ, because as I say, there's been very few. And I'll try and keep my eye on the things coming in to see if there are any more. But it's not easy when I'm looking at you to have see what's happening in the questions coming up. Okay, somebody says, can you please talk about IVF conceived children who are born from donated embryos, i.e. where a couple donates their IVF conceived embryo to a couple who is not able to have their own biological children? Ooh, that sounds very complex. That's from Rachel. Every single child, every soul that comes in, whatever way they are conceived, is coming in on a soul mission. And so IVF children, they are conceived without emotion when they're brought together, and so they can stand back and see things from a different perspective from other people, and many of them come in to bring about change. So if it's somebody else's embryo or somebody else's sperm, it carries the genetic influence of that person, and that is what the soul is wanting to experience. So whatever happens is perfect for that soul. And you wonder at some of these souls being born into such difficult conditions right now, where there is war, where there are other things, but that's what they've signed on to work with. And I said to my grandson, who quarrels with his sister, now, why do you think you signed on to have her as a sister? I don't know. I've changed my mind. And, you know, once we're down here, with all the influences that we have chosen to experience, genetic conditions, whatever it is, we are here just to experience that. Hi, Nirvana from South Africa. Oh, and here's another one. Keeping in mind incarnating souls are born at just the right time according to their soul development, is there any significance of being born on the day of a patron saint? March has two, St. David in Wales on March the 1st and St. Patrick of Ireland on the 17th. Being born on the latter, I wonder what your feelings are on this. Well, yes, of course. because every day, can you imagine being born on Christmas Day? You have the Christ light. You're being born into extra Christ light coming in on that day. And that's what we're talking about, the Christ light of unconditional love. And that energy is going to influence you from the moment you're born. So whatever St. Patrick and St. David are for you, then that influence is going to be with you. And the fact that you've thought about it and are asking the question says, okay, you're looking for what the influence is. So whatever day you are, just wonder what drew you in on that day. I know I've said this before, but my grandson, what didn't seem to be coming, and we chanted for him. And my daughter went suddenly into labour and they thought he was going to be born in the ambulance. The ambulance drivers were very excited, but she wasn't. And I asked afterwards, well, what if we hadn't chanted? What if he hadn't come then? And I was told that I was impressed to suggest we chant, obviously, because he was away off somewhere doing his thing and completely oblivious to the fact that he was meant to be born at that moment on earth. And so as we chanted, he heard it and he came rushing in to be here. And if he hadn't come in at that time, he wouldn't have died, but he would have missed his soul purpose. He would have missed his pathway that he had chosen to walk in this lifetime. And he'd have done something else, but it wouldn't have been his special pathway that he'd chosen. So why did you choose to be born on St. Patrick's Day? What was the special energy of that day for you? And start looking. Here's another question that I've been asked, totally different. But in my email, in my newsletter, I talked about arms and what was going on in America, etc. And I did mention that one of the things we could do was to use an ethical bank, one that didn't invest in arms, because Barclays and Lloyds and NatWest and all the high street banks pretty well, they invest in arms. It's a huge source of income for the UK, but is it right for us? And I have to confess, right now, I have a bank account in Lloyds and one in NatWest, and I am now looking at changing that because I think this is ridiculous. I am helping this dreadful situation, wars in Syria, our choices, every individual choice makes a difference. So the Co-op Bank is a high street bank, and that doesn't invest in arms at all. It has ethical banking. And there's one called Handelsbank, and I don't know, but apparently it doesn't advertise, and it's very ethical and decentralized. And the Reliance Bank is the Salvation Army Bank, and they have only ethical investments. So it's worth thinking about it and deciding what we want to support energetically, because that's what the world is doing. Right, got another question here. No one's asking anything about, good is out there. Sometimes find it hard to feel that, but is good winning against dark? Thank you, Caroline, for that question. Absolutely. We have made massive strides in the last 20 years. We've made incredible strides in the last 40 years, and every day the light is getting brighter and brighter. And the light, we've passed the tipping point. So we've passed the point of saying, oh, are we going to make it or not? Well past that, we now have to consolidate and get the light out there. And every little decision we take makes a difference, because we might only be one cog in the wheel, but when all the cogs are doing something for the light, it makes a massive difference. And as we know, the powers that be are organizing for great surges of light to come into the planet and wake people up. And that's why we need lots and lots of people awake so that they can be beacons to help those that are just waking up. So that by 2032, we will be in the new golden age, moving into the fifth dimension, and everything's going to start shifting. It's going to be very interesting, nothing sudden and dramatic, but just an acceleration. Already we're seeing everything surfacing. So things that have been hidden for a long time are coming to the surface. And that is the way that they're going to start to be cleared. So, and hello, Aditi. Nice to see you again. Hi, Wendy from New Zealand. Hi, Kirsten. Oh, I can't keep saying hi to people. Makes sense about the IVF. Yeah, it's true. We're all choosing. I have in my home a white spirit like an animal, and I received in my dream information that the spirit of a white deer. What's the meaning of a white deer? Okay, so deer are about trust. Pure white animals or pure white spirits are about purity. So it's about trust the universe, trust yourself, trust that everything is in divine right order, and do this with absolute purity and light. And though it's coming in, that's a very, very powerful message for you to absolutely trust. Oh, well, that's from Silvana. And somebody else is asking about Deja Vue and his wife, and he had been experiencing it nearly all their life, and it gets more and more as they get older. It used to be 2 or 3 times a year, now it's 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm sure we've always all had that experience of you just know who's on the phone when it's going to ring. You just feel, oh, you've been somewhere, hang on, I remember this, it's happened before, or I've been in this place before. I would suggest that if you're getting this more and more, you are coming back into soul memories, you and your wife together. And so maybe you've been in that place, that circumstance before. And so together you are just triggering the psychic memories and bringing it back together. And isn't it exciting? As more people get more and more psychically attuned, this is one of the ways we're moving forward. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Marilu from Sweden, you've got an extreme personal crisis. Well, I'm so sorry. Shall I just pick a dragon card for you and just see what the dragons say? Okay, let's just see. Nothing for Marilu and anyone else who's got a crisis. Oh, one of my favorites. You've got the dusky pink dragon from Andromeda. So it's asking you to prepare your chakras to embody higher love. Really, really important. And it says, accept and radiate higher love and touch others with its flame. So you're in this personal crisis, I don't know what it is, but it says, call on the dragons from Andromeda. They carry every shade of pink love. And as you carry more love and radiate it out, then other people are touched by it and they will respond to you differently. The dragon will help you rise above the situation and draw in new love, new energies of light. And I think you'll find that if you work with this dragon, your crisis will start to dissolve. Oh, here's an interesting question from Birgit. How can you distinguish the energy of Christ from the Catholic Christ Jesus? Well, I would say it's the same energy. And the Christ is an energy of pure, unconditional love. Now, the thing about a lot of churches is that they are putting out fifth dimensional information, but the energy of the people, and very often the clergy and the priests, etc., is still third dimensional. And that's where the clashes arise. And they are expecting people, they are teaching sometimes a fifth dimensional teaching, and people aren't ready for it. And they are not actually showing by example. So the Christ energy is always pure, unconditional love. And it's the most wondrous, pale, golden white energy. And it is kept. Well, it's 12th dimensional when it leaves source. And it comes from the heart of source. And the highest frequency that we can access it at in this planet is the 9th dimension. And it's kept in a 9th dimensional golden globe in the ascended aspect of Sirius, which is called Lacumae. And then there are dragons, certain dragons that can access the energy from it, bring that energy down, that golden Christed dragon, to a level you can cope with. And then they will fill you to a cellular level with this unconditional love. And I've had 2 or 3 questions, which I don't know if I can just find them now, about 33 and people seeing 33. Let me see if I can find that. Oh yeah, here we are. I was having a rough time and I asked if there was a Jesus, and if so, please give me a sign. She felt lightening going through her whole body and lots of white light, and a deep voice said, "You must wait." After some years, I started to see 33 lots of times during the day, didn't do anything about it. Then she saw 333, didn't do anything. And then one day, she comes from Denmark and she saw 33, in a price in Danish kroner. And she knew that she had to take it seriously. And so 33 is the number of the Christ light. You only have to say 33 and you get a vibration of Christ light coming to you. And you feel that Christ energy in you. If you see the number, it's a message from the universe to work with it. Now, if you see 333, it's just saying the message is even stronger now. If you see 333333, then it's saying, come on. What more can we do to give you this message? Yeah, somebody else, Birgit, is asking it. 3. Yeah, it is the Christ light is asking you to work with the energy of unconditional love, to call in the Christ energy. After all, Jesus was a very high initiate, and it's called the Son of God because he was the energy of source once removed, the Son. And he carried that incredible energy, and his task, his mission, was to bring it back to Earth for the first time since the golden era of Atlantis. And he managed to bring it in and carry it for 3 whole years. And then he had done his job. He came in, he did it. He was incredibly trained. His entire life was guarded, guided, and protected. He was looked after by amazing illumined masters, Mary and Joseph, his mother and father, his grandparents. They were all, and the wise men, all amazing illumined beings. And so every day of his life, they were holding him so that he could be ready to bring in the Christ light, which he did. Okay, let me go back to these on this page. How can I help my nephews grow up happy and healthy in this crazy world? Don't think of it as a crazy world. Think of it as a world where everything is moving very quickly into a new frequency. And that means that stuff is coming up. So what we see as craziness is actually the natural result of everybody being purified and the dirt coming out. And then you think of it. The angels came in to sing over us, to hold higher vision for us, to help us raise our energy. The unicorns then came in and poured their light and their blessings on us, very high frequency. And then the dragons poured in, and they can go into the deep, dense energy and clear it out in a way that the angels and the unicorns can't. So everything has just been perfectly orchestrated. Hello, Moshe. Thank you. Love you too. Really nice when people send their love through. Okay. Oh, I was wondering what light work could be done to help the situation in people in Chechnya while being persecuted and even killed for being gay. There has to be something. He wants to do something. Okay, well, it's not just people in Chechnya. There is still, everywhere in the world, a lot of prejudice. And there has never been a time like this when people can come in and experience different aspects of sexuality. And there are some very brave ones who've come in advance and who are opening the doorways for this possibility. In the golden era of Atlantis, which I'm always referring to, sexuality, homosexuality, it was just never a problem. You were considered to be on your path, experiencing what you wanted to experience. Okay, what we can do is ask the angels for a bit of guidance on this. Oh God, celebration. Wow. It's time for you to look for the joy, the delight, and the wonder of every day and rejoice in it. Now that's interesting. Angel wisdom reminds you to celebrate and honor all things, large or small, in your life. So perhaps we're meant to be celebrating the fact that in many parts of the world, people can be who they truly are, who they truly feel inside and accepted. And so why don't we just close our eyes and just send out a prayer. We'll call in Archangel Sandalphon and see him arrive in your inner world in his shimmering silver light, very, very tall. And one of his many tasks is to take prayers to source. He and Metatron together create a column from the center of the earth right up into the Godhead. So let us send a message asking for an acceleration of people understanding and being accepting of different forms of sexuality. Ask that people understand homosexuality in its different forms, and that people's mind be open to accepting wherever you live, that love is love. And we ask that the minds of the leaders of the people of Chechnya are opened, that their frequency is raised. And we see this prayer rising up through Sandalphon's silver light as he hands it right up to the seraphim who surround Source. And when you take a prayer like this up to Source, you wait for a response. You may feel a response in your hands, tingling. You may feel a sensation around you, or you may just get an impression of words or an impression of something happening. Oh. Well, I don't know what anybody else received, and I would love to know, but I had a picture and impression of like flakes of snow coming down and just touching the minds of lots and lots of people around the world, opening them up to a higher, more accepting way of being. So please share if you received any lovely message or had a clear impression of anything happening. That would be really good. Right. Cassie here says that she worked in what? Oh, okay, wait a minute. They go so fast. What is the mission of the Christ now? Right at this moment, there is a huge move on the part of the spiritual hierarchy to bring the Christ light into earth and touch everyone with it, with unconditional love, total acceptance and caring for others. And there are many beings in the inner planes, like Kuan Yin, whose task is to bring the Christ light in and help people in all different religions to see things differently, and also to help people feel more understanding about all kinds of sexuality. Then there are the great masters like St. Clare and St. Catherine of Siena and St. Teresa of Avila, and they work as a trio, and they are all helping to bring the Christ light in, change people's attitude, bring in more divine feminine energy so that we can all move up and see things from a more open perspective. I'm sorry, I missed that one. I was trying to read it and it moved up too fast. My first own house was 333. It was a therapy house. And reuniting me with my family. Fabulous, Anna. And if it was 333, you were definitely bringing the Christ light into that house and helping everybody with the therapy. And that is just brilliant. My sister made her transition on December the 24th. She was an angel. Why did she choose that date, Alicia? December the 24th is the day that the extra Christ light starts to come in. And if we all choose our moment of death because we take a particular portal to a particular place or to a vibration. And if she chose the 24th of December, she was choosing to move with the Christ energy. And that's always a lovely thing to hold on to. I know I've told before the story of when I was in hospital and it was Christmas Eve and who the Christ light was coming in, but I was having terrible problems all night. I'd got a stoma. I just had another operation. And so it was leaking and leaking and leaking, and 4 times in the night it leaked. The entire bed had to be changed. I had to be changed. And I kept lying there thinking, why is this happening tonight? This sacred night. It's such a special time. And yet this is going on. And in the early hours of the morning, I saw the Christ light coming in. Golden light just pouring in, bouncing off the walls, off the ceilings. I just had the impression of it going right out through the hospital, beyond the hospital and everywhere. And it was shimmering, shining, in some places pale gold, some places deep gold. But It was the Christ light coming in for Christmas. So, Helen, your sister was choosing a very special time because she had special work to do on the other side. And that's always nice to know. And so often they come through and they tell us what they're doing, what they're working on. Okay, Lena, when I came in, that was 111 likes and 222 who watched. I see numbers all the time. And a cloud that looks like a dragon. Okay, well, 111, I'm going to read what it said in 2012 and beyond. And I think this is out of print now. It's the number of mastery. Oh, this is 11. And you're asked to examine situations and relationships in your life and take responsibility for having created them so that you have the power to change them. But 11 is also the number of new beginnings, of starting again at a level higher. That's why we had everything happening at 11:11 at the cosmic moment. All of that was about starting again at a level higher. And 22 is the number of the master builder. And so it suggests it's time to co-create the life that you want, to manifest your vision, to ground things and make sure they are going to now take off and take root. And so the numbers are fantastic, and maybe one time I'll do something on just on numbers, because what are your thoughts from Carol on certain beliefs? You have to believe in Jesus in order to get to heaven. And there's only one way, and that's through Jesus. Well, I think what that means is Jesus carried the Christ light. He carried love in his aura and his energy fields. And the way to heaven is through love, unconditional love. I don't think anybody would dispute that. The only way you can actually get to heaven is by radiating love and spreading love. And so, yeah, whatever terminology people use, that is the underlying purpose of it. And I think we have to look past the terminology into the reality of what it means. Okay, Susan, let's have a card for Susan. I was going to say something about that. Another question came in about the number 13, I remember. Okay, card for Susan. And anybody else that is tuning in right now. Here we are. Oh, you have the black dragon from Saturn, which brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. So it tells you to focus on your ultimate vision. And you know, when you receive this card, it says that you have been going through a challenge. And the card comes to you to tell you that you have passed that challenge and you have succeeded. And that's just your confirmation that you now got through it and things are getting better for you. It's always nice to hear that. Okay, dogs, we don't really need you barking. Okay. Oh, Cassie, I was answering yours and my eye caught another one. So sorry. I really need to be able to write them down so that I don't have to try and remember them. Somebody's feeling very, very down, Cassie, as she found her purpose in spiritual work, but she can't be with the group that she used to be, and her life lost its meaning. She worked with the Christ energy searching for truth. She never felt belonging. And she only finds peace in nature. Which way should she go? Well, there are two things here. One is that the group you were with was giving you energy. So it tells you that you really are a person that likes to belong in a group. And so look for another group. Ask for people to surround you that make you feel the way you felt then. Think of that feeling. spread that feeling out in your aura. Everything we send out comes back to us. That's how we attract things into us. If you're sitting at home saying, I'm so miserable, I've lost my purpose, I can't do it anymore without those people, I miss them so much, then you're sending out an energy that is repelling people. But if you send out the feeling that you had then, that's when you'll start bringing it back to you. And I think you'll then find your meaning again and your purpose. And one of the ways you can do it, as you said, is to go into nature as often as you can and be at peace. Now, my words to myself are calm and centered. I find those two words very powerful. Takes me into a different space. You may have different words, but if you can take yourself into that space, call in the vibration of 33. Just say the words, and that will be happening inside you. The Christ energy will be triggered. And then you can meditate on Jesus, on the Christ light that he carried. And I hope that you'll find your meaning again, and you'll be led back on the path. Always remember that when you feel alone, you are going through an initiation. And your angels, your guides, your helpers all step back so that you can find what you need to find within yourself. When you come out of the other end, you are at a frequency higher. And so every initiation, especially if you know that's what it is bearable in the end, because you come out into something so much better. Somebody here felt their heart relax. I hope that's when we did that little visualization. You had the same, she had the same sparkles of light coming down. Strong sense of joy at receiving the prayer. Thank you for that one. I'm sure that would be really helpful. Your hands were burning hot, Mandy. Oh, I saw white light envelop the entire planet Earth and tingling in my hands. Brilliant, Tricia. Thank you so much. It's really helpful when we share these. I think this one's been coming up again. Please, can you draw a card for South Africa? Oh, somebody else says, yes, I could. That's from Lammy. I could feel tingling in my hands and around my face. I see a large group of people, like vast numbers of people, holding hands and creating a huge circle of light, golden light pouring into this circle. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's really helpful. It was in my snowball too. Okay, that's really helpful. So, a card for South Africa. I'm going to somehow get to some of these other questions. There are lots of them. South Africa, I have to say first, is a very, very special place. It's the solar plexus of the planet. And our planet is the solar plexus of the universe. And so the South Africa has been taken through all the fear of the entire universe and has been healing it and clearing it. Remember that in the second golden age on the planet, which was the golden age of Petranium, there were very, very wise seventh dimensional etheric beings walking this planet. The whole of Africa was beautiful. It was verdant. It was green and lush. And they knew exactly how to take minerals out of the soil without harming the soil. They knew exactly how to keep Africa beautiful. All that information and wisdom is still there, and it's just waiting to come back. So the more calm and centered the people of South Africa can be, the more they can help not just Africa, the whole planet, and the universe. It's that important. Let's see what card comes for you. Well, we've got the other black dragon. It's not the black dragon from Sirius. Where's the other black dragon from? Saturn, sorry. This is the one that says cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. So South Africa has huge potential, but it needs to be cocooned. And it says, meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. So this dragon is helping you to go through, or South Africa, to go through that metamorphosis. And I have to say, Lemmy, that the same card is for you in your life as well. They said that quite clearly. As soon as I saw that question, it was going to be the same card for you and for South Africa. So how about once more, if we all use our collective energy and send it to South Africa? Just closing our eyes, grounding ourselves, thinking of South Africa. Imagine a vast golden cocoon surrounding and enfolding South Africa. And the black dragons are totally working with the energy that we're sending to South Africa now. And there are armies and armies of them coming to connect with the energy. And make a picture of South Africa as it will be in the future. Beautifully green. Green grass because the rain is falling. The people all integrated, prosperous, abundant, happy. See Table Mountain, which is a great portal for prosperity and abundance, starting to open, so that abundance consciousness starts to spread through the people of South Africa. Picture as clearly as you can all the people, black and white, holding hands, honoring and respecting each other. And then let's take this great cocoon that we've formed together and ask the black dragons to take it, and Sandalphon himself to come in and take this cocoon right up to source for a blessing. Oh wow, I heard the seraphim sing. They love receiving this prayer, this vision. And unicorns are coming from all over the world, all over the universe, no less, and just pouring their light onto the cocoon. And then bring it back down to earth again. And let's pray that the energy starts to grow and develop and accelerate South Africa moving forward into their true position. Open your eyes and thank you, everyone. That's brilliant. Makes such a difference when we all do something together. Hello, Leslie Jane. Just finished your teacher's course. That's the Diana Cooper Foundation course on Atlantis. And it was amazing. I am so glad you enjoyed it. It's really lovely. I know all the courses that the foundation does are really special and amazing. They've got a very strong basis and they are full of information. And we're changing things so that in the future, we haven't quite got there yet, But at the moment, people train to become a teacher so that they can teach all the stuff they learn. But we have been given lots of information that people want to come and learn it, but they don't necessarily want to be a teacher. And so we're going to have an extra qualification so that they can be a teacher, but they don't have to be from the learning. So we are going to move on with some of these questions. Okay. Can the Christ light be invoked to heal and restore every area of the body and cause the etheric bodies to vibrate at a high level? Of course. Yeah, the Christ light is the most beautiful healing energy, the golden white energy. It is a perfect healing energy. The thing is that we're not always ready to receive it. There's also one other thing I should mention, which is that there is very strong energy in the collective consciousness that says that certain things can't be healed. Now, we know that in the new golden age, that level of the collective consciousness is going to shift, and then people will start healing all of these things that they haven't been able to do. Thank you, Helen. Feeling calm and centered, 33. Yeah, that's brilliant. So the answer is yes, work with the Christ light, call it in, watch your thoughts, make them all positive, and your emotions. And maybe you will be one of those that can, oh, this is from Kirsty again. This was from one of those that will lift the level of the collective consciousness. You remember when, was it Roger Bannister, was the first one to run the 4-minute mile? It was considered to be impossible before that. Then he ran it, and after that, lots and lots of people broke that record because he shifted the barrier in the collective consciousness. Okay. And can you do that for your cat? Of course you can do that for your cat, Toby. Yeah, just just surround him in Christ light. Take a crystal that you have and ask it to be filled with the Christ light and dedicate it to your cat. And ask that the Christ light goes through the crystal to the cat. Okay? The lady here, this is a big question from Gail, that she's gluten intolerant. She's asked Archangel Raphael to place her healthy DNA blueprint in her body to make her body healthy and fix her problem. But she is still has a lot of problems with gluten. Well, we are moving collectively. We're all moving into a different frequency band, and our bodies have to change. And so if you're a sensitive, you are going to find certain things like gluten. Don't forget that all the wheat is genetically modified. The molecules are different, and they have little hooks on them that apparently they stick into your gut and harm your gut. And this is why people are getting so intolerant. So start trying to buy food that's not genetically modified. Almost impossible. Do your part to sign petitions to stop genetically modified food, and try to get your health as good as possible. But if you are making big changes in your physical body, in your cellular structure, then you may just have to just recognize that you're sensitive and that there are things that you cannot tolerate. Don't spend so much energy trying to fight it. Accept it and know that those things aren't for you. Maybe something else is happening for your body that means that you can't eat those things. Sorry not to be a bit more helpful with that. Though, when we mention that, I have to say that Archangel Metatron came to me. I was sitting on the sofa. I was just relaxing in the sun, which was coming through the window, not real sun. And he asked me, I suddenly saw the Metatron cube. And he asked me if I would do a Zoom, which I'm going to do. I'm only going to charge £5.50, which is Metatron's vibration, 55, we were talking about earlier, the vibrations, about DNA repatterning to prepare us for the new golden age, to receive your divine master blueprint. I'm doing that on Bank Holiday Monday, the 27th of May, and there's a 21-day program to prepare your body for this. And he wants as many people as possible to do it using, I have a Metatron cube and I'll be using it, showing you how to use it, because the Metatron cube contains every single geometric shape that we use in this universe. And so Metatron and Source can pour through into your chakra exactly what you need for this task that he's asked that we now do. So please write in your diary 27th of May and hopefully do the 21-day preparation beforehand, which is eating a light diet and breathing exercises. And if I have time, I will do a YouTube or something to go with it. And we'll hope that has, he said he wanted a big shift on the planet, a big awakening, and that this would help with that. Because I know that lots of awakenings are coming in so many ways right now. Okay. Christine, great. We went through a very rough time. Then in the morning, put on my phone and your black dragon card was the first thing you saw. Right. Well, now that meditation we've just done will help you too. Okay. Oh, somebody here, Rachel, was in a really awful relationship 3 years ago. And when finally had the strength to end it, I would see the number 13 everywhere. Okay, and it was everywhere. And she just started she's just started her own business, and she hasn't seen it since, but she's in a very happy, loving relationship, and she keeps seeing 13 again. Well, look, 13, accept who you are and be a wise leader. So you got it before because you had to accept who you were and get out of that relationship. And now it's saying, come on, accept who you are, accept this love that's coming to you, be a wise leader in your business. And so they have, it's the same meaning, but the energy of it is totally different. Right. This question keeps coming up. Could I please share something about the importance of a vegetarian or vegan diet in relating to ascension and growing spiritually? How essential is it? All I can do is share what I know and my story. So about 30-something years ago, I had a friend and he was a clairvoyant, and he and I both had an appointment to see Leela Beck, who was a really good psychic. And she said to him, your aura is so pure and bright, the colors are so bright, you must be a vegetarian. And he said, actually, I'm not, but I'm clairvoyant. But I heard that and I thought, okay, being a vegetarian will make my colors of my aura brighter and clearer. So I instantly became a vegetarian. And I was a very proud vegetarian. You know, I wasn't going to touch anything else. And for 10 years, I was very strict, even though when I was abroad, you half starved. And then Kumiko said to me, well, of course, that was ego. You weren't doing that from a pure space. And so there's no point in being vegetarian if you're doing it from ego or for the wrong reasons. Now, that was a long time ago, and I then started to eat fish. I thought, okay, and I loved it. And then he said, no, time you gave up fish, you shouldn't do that. But the thing is, it's your attitude as well as what you do. Now, the consciousness has shifted dramatically in the last 30 years. Many people are becoming vegetarian, and now there's a huge move towards veganism, similar to the 20, 30 years ago to vegetarianism. Vegan restaurants are starting to come up. It's really, really taking hold. People are suddenly realizing that if they take in energy from an animal and it's the wrong energy, in other words, that animal is unhappy, then it's not good for them or for the animal. And that's the main purpose of being a vegan and a vegetarian, for the animals, to recognize, honor them, and respect them. In the golden era of Atlantis, they drank milk. After an animal died, they would use various parts of it for leather, etc., but only with permission from the soul of the animal. The grass, the vibration of the grass was a much higher frequency, and the milk was exactly right for humans at that time. Now, it's not the right frequency for us, and so any product of it isn't right either. So I would say that if you feel it's right for you, then absolutely go for it. I think that it's not right to eat meat anyway. That doesn't have a good feeling. The Archangel for animals, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Okay, it's Archangel Feliae, and it's F-H-E-L-Y-A-I, Archangel Feliae. It's interesting if an archangel ends with an I like that. When enough people raise their frequency, we are told to spell it with a Y at the end. Interesting, isn't it? You know, everything is connected to everything else. And your dog Ringo is 22 years old. Oh, bless him. That is old for a dog. And he's just in the last part of his life. Bless him. And I'm sure that Archangel Feliae will be with him. Remember, Archangel Azrael is also there, comes in at the death of an animal, just as it does at the death of a human. And so call them both to be there and help him at the end of his life. Right, let me see what other questions are. Could I claim some light on claiming your own power and using it? Natasha was told by a medium that the angel said she didn't want to use her power because she didn't feel ready or not good enough. How do I claim my power if I don't know what it is? I'm a stay-at-home mum and I want to be one nurturing my child, etc. Okay, your power is your confidence and worth. If you let other people tell you what to do, if you do what other people want rather than what you want, you are giving away your power. Now, very often this pleases people. You become known as a pleaser, and we learn this as a child. It's a very good way to, sorry, the dogs are doing something with the curtain. It's a very good way to keep your parents happy, to please them. But when you claim your power and do what is right for you, you earn respect. And so start to decide what it is that you really want, and then say it and do it. And if it's not for your highest good, it's not for anybody else's either. So that's why it's really important to claim your power and do what's right for you. Okay. Oh, here we've got a couple here that are about the health, really, and the body. Okay. A law in preparation to oblige every citizen in Holland to give their body for donor purposes. If you don't want to, you have to notify a special list. So her family doctor has become a holistic healer. Gosh, it's 8 o'clock, I hadn't realised. And also works with angels and guides. And he's now preparing a lecture saying that your organs shouldn't be removed, because you have collected your experiences during your life and your consciousness. Oh, do you know, I think this is one of those very, very difficult ones. When I was told I needed a blood transfusion, I didn't argue. I said yes. I went straight and had a blood transfusion, and it probably saved my life. And I had several of them over the course of the next few weeks. But every time I went in for a blood transfusion, I blessed the blood. I sat up and blessed the blood and thanked the donor and helped to raise the frequency so that it was in alignment with mine. And I'm sure some of you heard me tell the story of when I was just about to receive it. I'd received a blood transfusion. I was just about to receive the second one, and it came in the middle of the night. And I said, oh, no, I'm going to have to sit up. Well, I didn't say it aloud. I thought I'm going to have to sit up and bless this blood, and it's already the middle of the night. And Archangel Gabriel came in and sat on my chair, and he said, relax. I will bless the blood for you and give your thanks to the donor. And you know, I just let go and trusted him. And when I needed another one in the morning, Archangel was still there. And I just allowed him to continue to bless that blood. Oh, wow, Birken, he heard the seraphim singing at the same time as I mentioned it. That is fabulous. I just have a couple of things. Please don't switch off. A couple of things. Next week, we're going to talk about the pink dragons. There are various different ones that carry all the frequencies of love. Tim and I are going to do a 4-part course on guidance for advanced ascension, starting on the 8th of April, Sunday, with the Golden Path. It's going to be fascinating. It's actually really, really incredible. I'm doing a Zoom course on my own on Tuesday, the 17th of April. We're going to work with the dragons, and then we're going to meet the silver dragons. They are the dragons that bring you prosperity. They are beautiful. We're going to look at Kuan Yin's illumined pink dragons, and they clear, amongst other things, the blocks in your sacral chakra, and the golden orange dragons from Arcturus. They are amazing, and they align you to higher energies. So all that is on Tuesday, the 17th of April in a Zoom course. So if you're interested, please sign up for that. And then we're doing this Monday, the 27th of May, the DNA repatterning to prepare you for the new golden age and receive your Divine Master Blueprint. They're all from 8 to 10 o'clock in the evening, daylight saving time. And so I hope to see some of you, and I hope to see lots and lots of you next week as well on Wednesday. Lots of love to everybody. Take care.